brings us to 7 minutes to 9. Now, in a week where the number of young people not in education, employment or training, known as NEETs, reached 1 in 6, and the government's work experience programme came in for some criticism, the prospect of getting a job for many people seems as remote as ever.
So what's the solution? One charity in Hull thinks they've found it. Charity CatZero has announced a 70% success rate. To find out how they do it, we're now joined by the programme organiser for CatZero. That's Dave Bertolini and Amy Adams, who's one of the former trainees. Very good morning.
Good morning.
Dave, it's much talked about at the moment, this issue of work experience and how it works. Just give us an idea of what your scheme is and what you do.
CatZero is a combination of many things that have come together to make it work. CatZero is a charity. It's been very successful. It's been running for 3 years now, and we have this 70% success rate. Now, we've brought together private business, the voluntary sector, the local authority, and this team of people are helping young people through a process of challenge and support.
So a young person comes to you, what do they do?
The young person comes to us, we have to recruit the young people first of all, so NEETs don't stand about with badges on, we have to find them, so we have to recruit them to come onto the programme. They go through an introductory event which is 24 hours. After that introductory event they go on to a training programme. This training programme covers many things about education, training, introduction to employers. They gain up to 7 qualifications as part of that. And then there's a small part of the programme which is 8 to 10 days where they actually go sailing. And they're sailing on a challenge yacht, 72-foot challenge yacht out of Hull into the North Sea.
Is that a work experience? Is that the work experience they're getting?
It's
you know, learning how to sail a yacht.
Yeah, it's more than that. It's a massive challenge, and when you mention a yacht, people have a particular picture that's created from that. But basically, it's being classed as like a boot camp on a boat. Basically, it's a massive challenge in the North Sea. Even in summer, it's a very, very big challenge for young people.
And Amy, you've done it.
Yeah, I did it in 2009.
So tell us how long this whole programme takes, and what other experience you get, and how the yacht part of it helps.
It's 10 to 12 weeks usually. And it involves things from rock climbing, construction, plumbing, and even just running.
What's it helped you to do?
It's helped me to get a job, most importantly.
How did it do that?
Well, I took part in a first aid course midway through part of the course, and once I'd completed it, I was actually pulled aside and offered a job because the trainer was so impressed with what I'd done. I'd got a job before I even finished.
So you're working now?
Yeah.
As?
I work as an acting casualty with my trainer, but through him meeting one of his clients, they actually took me on a private ambulance.
Right.
So Amy, I mean, give us a kind of before and after picture of what you were like. Was it to do with confidence? Where were you at when you got there? What was your kind of state of mind? Because politicians talk all the time. They try and get inside the heads of people who are in exactly your situation.
Yes.
Where were you at?
Well, I'd just left school earlier that year and I had nothing to move on to. I wasn't very confident. I just felt there was nothing out there for me and I wasn't going to move anywhere with my life. And then one day my friend got a call asking her to come on the course and she asked me to come along with her. So the next day we're shooting off to Spain Point, piloting boats.
Dave, one of the criticisms that we're hearing at the moment is that companies are nervous about being accused of offering work experience instead of actually paying people to do jobs. Now, how does your scheme differ, and do you have sympathy for those anxieties?
I think CatZero works because it's a partnership. We've brought people together and we've planned it with our local businesses.
What happens if individuals drop out? Was there any sort of, this idea that you might lose your benefits if you dropped out of the scheme? Was that one of the penalties that would have happened?
That wasn't a penalty of this programme. And I think we need to remember with this as well that CatZero has been working for 3 years now. It's worked with over 400 young people. And the cost effect related to that in the economy is massive. Each young person that stays in NEET throughout that process costs £56,000. So over that 3-year period, you could say that CatZero has saved the taxpayer 16 million as part of that.
So how much does it cost? Say, for example, Amy's the part of the programme she did to get her into the position she is now. How much did that cost?
£3,000 per person.
£3,000, and over how long a period that is over?
The standard programme is for 12 weeks, but we continue to work with people for a lot longer than that.
And Amy, what made you do it and stick with it
It was just, even though it was really difficult, it's probably one of the hardest things that I've done. It worked, and when I started it, I knew it was going to work because it was just, I felt like I was doing something and it was actually being a success.
And how do you think you get to those people who are hardest to reach, the ones who, you know, who are in a desperate place, who really think they haven't got anything to offer? How do you reach them in the first place? I mean, your friend kind of told you.
Yeah.
How do you reach people like that?
It's difficult, really, but I think if you've just got to persist and just try, and they'll come to you. And
thank you so much for coming and sharing your experience with us today.
Yeah,
Thank you.
good to talk to you this morning. Thank you very much. Coming up